Michigan Wolverines declared the big winners of National Signing Day. Not too shabby. It was looking kind of scary there for a minute. I know a lot of people were like, we're losing our starters, but most of them were seniors. We lost, I don't know. We didn't really lose that many guys to the transfer portal, did we?
So far only 3. I think the real big loss was Keon Sabb. That was actually a bit of a shock too, because Keon Sabb made a game-saving tackle against Alabama, and he would have been a starter this season too. So I'm not sure why he's transferring, other than they didn't have like stability on defense until just like a week or two ago.
Okay.
With Wink Martindale coming in. Yeah.
And, oh shoot, now I forgot his name. The guy who caught the ball at the, was doing the kickoff reception there and dropped it and picked it back up again.
Oh, Jake Thaw.
Thaw, that's it.
Yeah. Actually, he's a loss too.
Yeah,
that's a loss, because he clearly had really good presence of mind to, we've talked about it before, but yeah,
Yep.
that's a loss too. I wish he wouldn't have transferred, but I understand why he is.
Yeah, I'm sad to see him go, but I think we did talk about it at the Senior Bowl. I think he's got a good career ahead of him. That kid has a head on his shoulders. A good head on his shoulders. He's going to be a great player.
Yeah.
So as we have here many Michigan Wolverine fans, and in our case, Walmart Wolverine fans, we're nervous when the rumors of Jim Harbaugh leaving started to become real. A coaching change in college football can cripple a program, and we are going to talk about the coaching changes here in a little bit, but first we're talking about the players. As players leave once the coach who recruited them leaves. However, this has not happened as of this moment. Brad Shepard of Bleacher Report declared the Wolverines as one of the big winners of National Signing Day. So it's not just, Michigan fans saying they're the big winners. This is Bleacher Report saying this.
They're obviously Michigan homers. Obviously,
yeah. So Mac, do you want to take us through this, or what did you have in mind here?
I read the article earlier, and like what he's saying is, what he's saying is basically that Michigan hasn't had like much roster turnover because of the coaching change. And he's absolutely right. There hasn't been a lot of roster turnover, which is great. Keon Sabb leaving doesn't make a ton of sense. Don't really know what's going on there. But so far, nobody's leaving and nobody's decommitting from the class yet. So yeah, I mean, if you're, if you're a team that's going through a coaching change like this, I mean, Harbaugh was, fairly entrenched at Michigan. Like, he's been here for over 10 years now, 10 years at this point, almost 10 years. Because 2015. Well,
yeah, it was 9 seasons.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's some there, and they've finally figured out a winning formula in the last 3. Well, I mean, they've been winning the whole time. They just haven't been winning the championships that we wanted. I mean, Michigan was never a bad team except for maybe 2017 and 2020.
Right.
But like under Harbaugh, Michigan was never really, that bad. I mean, we certainly weren't Rich Rod or Hoke era kind of stuff. So
it's when we were trying to decide with 9 or 10 games going to be the ceiling. We're just going to live with that, which 9 or 10 wins a season is not terrible.
I mean, that's not bad.
It's just not going to win you a championship.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we weren't winning the games that we wanted to win. And then with a 9-win season, we were going to good bowl games. But the problem was that we were going to good bowl games against good teams. And they weren't beating, the great team. They were beating good teams, I should say. They weren't beating the great teams. Like 2019 Alabama, Michigan could have won that game. They didn't. Frankly, 2018 and 19 Ohio State, Michigan could have beaten them. They didn't. So there you go. Anyway, so these last 3 years, they've obviously figured out a championship winning formula, and here we are. And so, yeah, a coaching change is like, can they continue to win championships the way that they have been? I mean, a natty for Michigan is a fairly big deal. They've got all of their other natties are contested. Yeah.
So we have, so in this article, he talks about Reese Atterbury is gone. He played from 2020 to 2023. He played in 24 games, both sides of the ball, but he was never a starter. Noah Stewart is gone. They're the only ones to leave. So from what I understand, Noah Stewart played from 2020 to 23, and he only played in 4 games.
Okay, yeah.
Darius Clemens left for Oregon State. I think that's actually kind of a loss.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He caught a few passes this year, didn't he?
He caught a few.
Yeah, I thought he did. Here.
So for 2023, not a whole lot. He got 33 yards, 3 receptions, no touchdowns.
Okay.
So not necessarily one of the standout players, but I believe he was considered to be up and coming at least.
Yeah.
We were looking forward to him being one of the better players on the team. But he has moved on to Oregon State for his own personal reasons, and obviously wish him well and hope he does well over there.
That's a weird place to transfer to. Oh, wait, you said personal reasons?
Well, I mean, it's ultimately personal reasons.
Oh, okay. I guess I thought you were saying that.
If you're transferring to Oregon State, it's probably not for NIL.
Well, I guess I was confused because I thought personal reasons meant like, okay, he's got family or something like that in Oregon or whatever, but that's probably not what it means.
Probably not.
No. But so that's kind of a weird place to transfer to because Oregon State's going through a bit of a coaching upheaval themselves. And from what I understand, it's not nearly as smooth a transition as Michigan's has been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which so a lot of people are, I guess this kind of goes along with, Michigan winning signing day. Like, yeah, they won signing day in the fact that they kept their signing or their recruiting class intact despite a coaching change. And that just speaks to the smoothness of the transition. But a lot of people are giving Michigan a whole bunch of crap saying there's absolutely no way Harbaugh left a good foundation. We talked about that during the Senior Bowl. Mm-hmm. But how do you know unless you look at the tangibles? And the tangibles are Michigan has never really recruited that well or as well as you would have hoped with a team of this caliber, but they're constantly getting top 20 classes. And now they're taking these top 20 classes full of a bunch of 3s and 4 stars and winning championships with them. Right. So I don't care if Michigan is top 16, as long as they don't have a bunch of players currently on the team leave, then Sherrone's got everything he needs to continue the momentum, to keep things going the way that they have been. Also, he needs to bring in good coaches, and we'll get to this, but it looks like he is.
So who do you know as far as who has Michigan brought in that they were, anticipating bringing in to improve both the O-line and the offensive side and defensive side of the ball?
Coaching wise or player wise?
No, player wise. Who have they recruited? Who have they brought over? Because I thought I heard they actually got somebody who was going to go to Ohio State.
I think they got a few players out of Ohio. Right. I know they got the number 1 overall rated recruit out of Ohio, I want to say. Yeah, Jordan Marshall, the running back from Archbishop Moeller in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah, he was named Ohio Mr. Football, I guess. That's the name. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean they've got a good class coming in. I mean, it's not a great transfer class. They're not bringing in a lot of transfers, which is fine. You don't need a ton of transfers when you've got returning production the way that they do. But I mean, Jaden Davis is their 4-star quarterback. He's the one that everybody had been saying this is the guy that's going to come after JJ and keep the momentum going. We kind of thought JJ was going to stay one more year. They just won the Natty. He's got a good draft stock. It's fine. He's gone. That's okay. But Jaden Davis is coming in. He's a really big piece of this recruiting class. Josiah Edmond is a cornerback. He's a big piece of this class. Andrew Sprague is who I'm really excited about. He's an offensive tackle. Broski here is 6'7", 286 pounds. This guy is big. He's a big guy. So that just shows that Michigan is continuing to bring in good players on the lines. They've got 2 edge rushers coming in, 2 4-star edge rushers. They've got another offensive tackle, another couple of tight ends. All of these guys are 4 stars. This class is actually pretty exciting to me. I understand there's no 5-star on the team just yet, but they just took a class of 3 stars to the Natty. What can they do with 4 stars? And then what can they do once they get their NIL in order, which it actually sounds like they're going to. So things are really looking up right now.
Cool. Yeah, I heard somebody asked Sherrone Moore how he felt about Michigan's chances against Ohio State this year. And he said, well, we'll settle that in November.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was funny because after that, people started saying, "Oh, Sherrone Moore's taking a shot at Ohio State." I'm like, I don't think so. I think he's just saying they're going to play the game and see who wins.
Yeah, he's kind of just speaking facts. Like, well, there's a game scheduled in late November. We'll play that. Whoever wins, I think, will probably be the winner.
But that's what happens in our clickbait age. That you can't say anything without people thinking you're trying to be provocative in some way.
Well, hey, as we've learned, clickbait sells.
It does.
So it does.
Just got to be able to back it up. If it's all clickbait, you're in trouble.
That's fair.
You end up as the Mike Zero of sports.
If nobody knows who that is, you're clearly not a Star Wars fan.
Good for you. For not knowing who it is. Being a Star Wars fan is good. At least it used to be.
Well, it used to be.
I also heard Jake Tuttle is apparently doing really well. And somebody came up with a nickname for him of King Tut, which I thought was kind of fun.
That's good. I like that.
And I was a little like, at first I was like, no, wait a minute. Orgy's supposed to be the QB next year, but it'll be kind of cool. I mean, if we have, again, 2 standout quarterbacks between Orgy and Tuttle, that'll be nice. That just means we got a deep bench, and that'll be great.
Yeah, I think Michigan's quarterback room is actually fairly deep right now, which is kind of crazy because last season, everybody was saying if JJ gets injured permanently, like that whole season is shot because they have no depth at quarterback. I think that's only the case because Jack Tuttle wasn't given a fair shake and Alex Orgy was still kind of young. I think Orgy is a sophomore now, I want to say. So he's got a tad bit of experience. Right. But he's an athlete, man. He is a dude. Like he is big. We talked about him being a good Jalen Milroe stand-in. Mm-hmm. I mean, he if he develops a little bit more, he can be just as good, if not better, than Jalen Milroe. So yeah, I mean, he's a good quarterback. In my opinion, though, Jake Tuttle didn't get a fair shake though because he got injured against Rutgers. Jake Tuttle.
Oh man,
are you sure? I think it's Jack.
Jack Tuttle.
Jack Tuttle. I'm pretty sure it's Jack. I'm going to say Tuttle until we know. But Tuttle didn't get a fair shake.
It is Jack.
Because it's Jack. Whoops.
I'm thinking Jake. Sorry, man.
All right. Well, whatever. He's not watching. Let's call him Jake. But he didn't get a fair shake because he was injured against Rutgers. And that was that dirty play where he was running the ball and he got the first down. And then Rutgers, one of their players, hit him late out of bounds and he smacked his head against the bench.
Yep.
So, yeah, if he had been able to play the rest of that game, I think he would have put up some numbers. But as it stands, whatever, he did get a lot of snaps over, especially like the non-conference. And I thought he looked good. Like, I thought once he got into a rhythm, he looked good. And he's capable of running the ball. So he's not just a pocket passer. Mm-hmm. So why not, Why not? That's all I got. That's what I get, Why not?
Oh, I forgot. I actually have a link here to Michigan's recruits. Or you were already looking at this list, right?
Yeah. Yeah, from 247.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have the okay, so the overall rank is 19, composite rank is 16?
Yeah.
I mean, out of 133, that's not bad.
Whatever. We just won the national championship. If we go 9-3 this season, which it looks like there's a possibility we go 9-3, I'm not upset. Do you see this sweater? Do you see how it says 2023? 2023. I don't care what happens in 2024. Obviously, if we don't even make a bowl game, that'll hurt a little bit. But let's go 9-3. I don't care. This is great. We're fine. Everything's fine.
But this year, 9-3 could still get you to the national championship, couldn't it?
Which is the dumbest thing in the world. But yeah. This is the conversation now, which I don't know if this is on topic. We can switch, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, does 9-3 get you to a national championship now? Get you into the playoffs now? That's going to be the debate. Which 9-3 team has the best resume? Which is just, I mean, you're 9-3. You don't deserve a shot at the Natty. The shot at the Natty. Like, come on.
Sam Hartman's looking downfield for AJ.
Oh! Carter almost has a one-handed catch.
Almost.